very important.
Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, Shir Sponsor, Lui Nishma, Sami Yaakov Shalom, Leah Basitzchok. We're holding in Daf Kuf Nun Hey Amud Aleph. We're starting in the word Itmar, which is 7 or 8 lines down on Daf Kuf Nun Hey Amud Aleph. The word more says Itmar Koton. Second word. Says the word Itmar Koton Me Mosai Moicher Benichsi Oviv. A koton, when can he start selling in the property of his father? Now, why are we bringing it over here? We bring it over here because when I bring a raya of something that we brought in the previous daf. But right now, the Gemara is asking, what age a koton is allowed to sell benichsi oviv? And we're referring, what are we talking about? Which Bava explains, b'karka selling a karka. Right? Because by metaltalin, we learn in Maseches Gitin, that even peutos mikro menkach or mimkor memkar, they can buy and sell even young kids if it's a taltin. Well, when we talk about karkois, that's when you have a different that's a different level. So what is it? So Rav Omar Nachman ben Shmunes Shana. For Avudu Bachin Omar Nachman ben Esim Shana. Machlokes is it 18 years old or is 20 years old is the age where they could be able, they already have the ability to sell in the karka of their father. Right? Okay.
What after 18?
Oh, so what we have in 18 20? Simple right now, without going too much into it, is that we know, the Chazal tell us that there's things that change at the age of 18. Age of 18, 18 years old is when a person is ready to get married. Ben Esrim is the koyach. Ben Esrim is, we know that's when Beis Din Shemalos start to punish at 20. So we know there's something that changes in that age. So immediately changes for these things as well. Question: what is the requirement for selling a karka? Is to be the age of 18 or the age of 20?
Well, what do those two things have to do with selling? What capability?
You have to have like enough data to do that. The point is, as we'll see soon, a person can be tempted to sell a property because he sees a lot of money. So he has to have enough das. He has to have enough Yeshiva das to make the right decision if he's selling his father's property or not.
Is only talking about the Yerusha?
I mean, and now what do you mean? When you
15 years old, you can't buy and sell property.
So we'll see the moment when you have an exception. The Pasha's Pshat is you cannot sell, he can sell his own maybe. Yeah. So Gabi, the Yerusha of his father. I think the Meeker is the Gabi, the father. I think so. Yeah. Good order. Says the Gemara. Now, we're going to learn the Gemara that we're going to learn now is based on the Girsa of the Rashbam. We'll see in a moment, when we get to one base, the Taisus doesn't like so much the Girsa of the Rashbam, and he wants to change it a little bit. We'll see soon. But let's right now continue on. Meisir of Zero, we're skipping the parentheses because that's what Rashbam learns. So Zero asks the question, and this is the story that we had yesterday. Meisir of Bnei Brak, there was a story in Bnei Brak. Be'echot shemokar b'nichse oviv v'meis. Someone sold the nechos of his father, and he died. Right? And Shaila was if he's underage or overage. Came to Mishpoch and said he was underage. He was a cotton. Can we go check if he has the simon was he got or not? Only now, first of all, you're not allowed to do bizoy in a mace, and that's what we saw yesterday. Discussion: who's the one saying that? But the point is, you're not allowed to mistreat the body. No, so you can't rely on that because simonim may change after death, and you don't know what it is. So they went like this: the age of selling property is the age of 18. That's the age. So they went like with base. So understand? They're saying, let's go and check out if he is an adult or not. Does he have Shtisaris or not? Right? Hello, if you want to tell me if you go based on the age of 20, what are you checking? And this, yesterday in the daf, I said something wrong. I said, we mentioned, when we spoke about the story, there was a story. It's a little confusing based on this daf. The stories is a problem. So in other words, when you get to the age of 20, the Gemara understands child who reaches the age of 20 and he didn't become a gadol, and he doesn't have shtei cyrus, he's a saris. Saris means he cannot have children. And after is he can't do chalitza and yibum. Saris doesn't do chalitza and yibum. Because that's what we learned. There has to be a yokum achiv, only someone who can have children. So he's a saris. So the words I don't understand. Was he 20 years old or not? If you hold that only the age of 20 you could tell, so Yimon Shach. If he brought Shtei Cyrus, great, he's a regular 20-year-old. If he didn't bring Shtei Cyrus, he's a Saris. Yimon Shach, when he gets to the age of 20, he's already an adult. So why have to check him? What's the point in checking? Says the Gemara, no, not every person who gets to the age of 20 without Shtei Cyrus is automatically a Saris. That's a status. No. We're talking about someone who has other simanim of Saris. There's different simanim in the voice, in the skin. There's different things that you can see that he's a Saris. Right? The Rashbam brings over here. Simanim for Rosh Bevamas. Right? It actually doesn't mean what is it. But we'll talk about that. So we have other simanim, the way his body looks, that he looks more called feminine. That shows his Saris. You have the simanim, and in addition, didn't bring Shtei Cyrus, the age of 20 he becomes an adult. But if he didn't bring all the simanim, so then what? Then you don't become an adult at the age of 20. Omar Rova, take an Amadiktani v'hu Asaris. It says, if he didn't bring Shtei Cyrus, he didn't say, if he didn't bring Shtei Cyrus, he is a Saris. No. If he didn't bring Shtei Cyrus, he is the Saris. What do you mean the Saris? I already realized he was a Saris before. It was other indications. I wasn't for sure. I don't know 100% sure. Until he reaches the age of 20, he doesn't bring Shtei Cyrus. But once you have all the other simanim, plus he doesn't bring Shtei Cyrus, and he reaches the age of 20, then he becomes a Saris.
And if he doesn't have simanim and he doesn't not a Saris, then...
Oh, very good. So Tibi is asking you the question of the Gemara. If he doesn't have all the simanim Cyrus, so if he has neither. He doesn't have Simoni Saris, but he also doesn't have Cyrus. So when is going to become an adult? The majority of his years. What is the majority of his years? So the Rashbam says over here, 36 years old. Why? Because the year so you have to pass the half, 35, you have to get to 36. Some hold is 35 in a day. You just have to pass the 35. And that's what it is. What is the Gemara saying? Gemara says, here's the answer. We're talking about, we hold at the age of 20 you could sell. You have to be an adult to sell at the age of 20. So we want to shach. If he asks, who is the adult anyway? No. If he has Shtei Cyrus, he's 20, adult. He doesn't have Shtei Cyrus and he has Simoni Saris, an adult. But he doesn't have Simoni Saris and he doesn't have Shtei Cyrus, he's not an adult. And that's the case.
What's that to do with selling?
What?
What does that have to do once we reach 20? We said.
The Shtei Cyrus show the das.
I mean, without that,
you don't. The simonim. What's the simonim of? It's a simin for the das. That's why it's called a simonim.
Simin that you reach maturity.
It's a simin. Now, not necessarily if you don't have it. It means you don't have it. The das, but we don't have the simin on the outside. We don't have an indication that you can come and rely on it. What?
Vice versa.
Right, but that's a mikabel. Now, Shtei Cyrus, you have that simin.
What does physical maturity have to do with intelligence?
Well, this is what we know that in Yiddishkeit, the previous is reflected in the chitzonis. It's not two different things. Today's world, so they want to separate it. I mean, my inside is not what I'm on the outside. I can change my outside.
That's what there's no previous.
But who I really am something else. The outside, no. We know that whatever's in the outside, it's a reflection of the inside. So we have, that's how Kishbul created Adam. Adam is the goof, is reflecting the neshama. The goof is the tzur of the neshama outside.
There are people that are 20 with Shtei Cyrus and they don't have a class.
Oh, very good. The Gemara is going to address it in a moment. I do want to see the first Rashbam in the Homo, just to literally get to one of the questions that we ask over here. So Gemara says, according to number 18, we didn't have a question, because we know from the age of 18 to 20, he may be a cotton even if he has simonim. Even he has other simoni cyrus. Only need these simonim in order to sell in the nechos of his father. You know, that's maybe giving you a little bit of the mashros, not his own nechos, nechos aviv. When you give a choshu godol mitzvahs. 13 is the age of mitzvahs. 13. But the age for selling the karka, you need to have a little more. You have to get to a higher maturity.
I'm sorry, his father's dead and he yashin?
Yeah.
So it's just what he yashin from his father.
Yes.
For some reason that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Says the Gemara now. Now, according to the as the Rabach points out, we have a little hipuch here in the Girsa, and the Gemara says like this. We don't read the way the Gemara says because really it doesn't make a huge difference. It's just the structure. If you had a saris that we don't find, we have someone who doesn't have shtusaris. So if he's very, very weak, tells him, give him a little food and let him fatten up. And if he's very fat, you say, do a little bit of diet. Why? The Hani Simoni, Zimim Da'asu Machas Keshuso, Zimim Da'asu Machas Beyuso. Sometimes they come because of weak, when it's weak, then they come. And sometimes when it's very fat, it comes. Different people have different things in the body that cause it to come. So if he's in one state to an extreme, we try to change it. Says when you buy what is the question over here? Shaila is if the age of 18, what happens is within the year of 18, we did not reach the full age, meaning he's 17 plus. So he's in the 18th year, but he didn't reach 18, or he's in the 20th year, but he didn't finish the year. So says the Gemara, it's before. In other words, he has to reach the age, either 18 or 20. No, within the year is already out of the year. What Rava said is not befirush, meaning wasn't said clearly, but it was written from a story. This is the use of the Rashbam that brings the story of Rava here. If you look back in the parentheses, it's brought down with parentheses that we skipped on Amdav, brings that sentence before. So we'll see in a moment what does it mean. The way our Gemara says, what's the ride you're going to bring now? So he says, there was this person within this man, meaning young age, and he went and he sold the nechosim of his father. And he came for the Rava. Said Rava, that's nothing. You bring a raya the Tezman. Sigmar Beloy. Also, Shtuso Yeteresa Chozabei, they have a Kamishachar Leavdi. Here, he saw he's doing a big shtus. He's releasing his slaves for no benefit. So that's why he was more machmir in him to wait till he reaches mamish the age of 20. But in general, I would let somebody to do it within that year. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara, Sholach le'gidel b'minash l'rov. Yamdeinu Rabbeinu. Rabbeinu will teach us. What he will teach us? Tinoikis baz arba eseshonu v'yemechod yudas b'tiv moso umoton mal. Suddenly we have here a question that seems to be not fitting. It says, if you have a 14-year-old girl, meaning she's the age, she's more than bas mitzvah, could she sell in karkos? The Rashbam debates is metalta karkos. He says metalta can be metalta. We know the age of 6 or 7 already. So we think about a karka. Could she sell a karka at the age of 14? Sholach lei im yudas betiv masu maton. If she knows, if she's smart, she's wise. Mikra mekach umim karo memkar. So she could sell. Something more relishach lei tinoik. Why talk about a girl? What about a boy? Something more ma'aseh shoya kachoyo. Yeah, that was a story. Happened to be, it was a girl. Why have to get to 14? Once she became an adult. Right? Now so what do you see over here? What comes out? That really you don't have to get to the age of 20. Even before that, when she's the age of 14, 12, basically, if she's very smart. Look at what Shor Rashbam. Rashbam says, so he says, I want to just see the Lashon. If you look at the last, it's starting in the wide line of the Rashbam. So it starts with two words before the wide line, the Veneer Beinai. And he says, the Bimikarkei Mari, talking about Karkos. Look at Sim Metaltli. The Achim Fashirno. Shog of Gidu Babinash Rav, Yamdain Rabbeinu Tinoikis Bazudal Sherdaz Betiv Masu Maton, Maulim Kavixelvio, Avgad Rabas Stream. We're talking about 14, can she sell, even though she's not 20? Umeach Shamino, and what do you see from here? This guy is not very smart. So then, not a shoite, he gets up. So you have here a little bit of a middle zone. Once a kid is 13 and above for a boy and 12 and above for a girl, if he's very wise, if he's very big bikeach, you let him sell. But if he's not, you need to let him get to the age of 20. And here the Mefarshim, the Shah of the Chuvas for him bring that there's, I don't know what would be the right word, maybe gullible. You have somebody who's not, he's not a shaitan. But it's very easy to deceive him. Yeah, to manipulate him. Very easy. He's not street smart. So the shaila is, can you come with a taino that he's a shaitan or not? And there's Chuvas about it. The Seven speaks about it and others. And the big rise from our Gemara, this is exactly the case of our Gemara, based on the Rashba. If he's not a shoite, once he reaches the age of 20, the Chazal said his sale is a sale. His sale is a good sale. Even though he's saying he's not really a big bucky, doesn't know exactly how to do business. Says the Gemara,
how do we get this cheshbon? 13 to 20?
A gadol.
12 to 14?
No, it just happens. The Gemara says the Ma'aseh Shel Kachoyo. Happened to be the girl was 14 years old, but really from the age once she's an adult. So now here again we have the parentheses because we have here in discussions here in the gear, so we're going to bring a rat from Rav or not. But let's go without the parentheses. So there was this kid, the age less than the age of 14, that's the age of 20, and he went and he sold that the nechasim because he was really young and he was very smart, like the Gidul B'Menash that says, meaning the case before. And once a kid is very smart, he can do it. So they were relying on it to sell it. Also, the Rava, so the Kroivim, he wanted to change his mind. He wanted to go back and say, I'm not doing this. Someone said, you can't. You were very smart. He says, show Rava that you act like a shaitan. What should you do? Eat dates and take the pits and throw it towards Rava. That's shaitan. Rava will see that and take away the sale. That's what he did. Amrulu zvino la zvina. That's not a mechira. You see, it was a shaitan. Kikakosu l'shtaro, while they're writing the shtar to say that he deserves it. Amrulu l'kuchois, it says the l'kuchois. They said, one second, we're going to make you do something else. Zil Emel Rava Migilas Esther Bezuzo Shtar Damar Bezuzo. You go and say Dvar Chochma. What's Dvar Chochma? So you buy in the market Migilas Esther with one zuz, and you buy one shtar with one zuz. In other words, it's like a taina. It's not fair. Why one small shtar is one zuz? Because Esther is one zuz. It doesn't make sense because Esther has a very long Megillah. It's one shtar, and the answer is because once you're hire a sefer, so he does a little bit more work, a little less work. Yeah, you're hiring for the service, right? That's what it was. So it's really more of a Dvar Chochma because he's pointing out something that doesn't make sense economically. Look, in the economics, it doesn't make sense. Also, Amalei. So he goes tells Rava, Amalu, Zvina, Zvina. It's a good mechira. See, the guy knows business. Amalei Kroive, Lekuchos Gemaru. He says, yeah. So come the Kroive, whoa. It wasn't, he didn't really know it himself. The Lekuchos told him. Amalu, Misabrile Sodar. They explained it to him and he knew how to say it well on his own. So you see that he is smart. Hi, why did he throw the pits? Because of chutzpah. So what does it mean? It's very, 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 very not understood. They taught him a story. One taught him this way, one taught him that way, and that convinces Rava. So the first we explain like this. When the guy comes and eats the dates and throws the pits, it can be one of two reasons. It can be that he's a big chutzpaniak, throwing pits in front of Rava, or he's a shaitan. So you say Melamed Schus, that probably he's not so, doesn't have his mind. Rava held, once you saw that he was able to be taught the idea of the zuzah, that means he has enough das, even if he didn't do it on his own, even though he was taught to do that. But he was able to do it, to stand and say it clearly, so it means he is a pikeh. So then you have to come and say that what he did before was a chutzpah. I don't want to say a yid is a chutzpaniak, but if I have no choice, I have no choice. So the treatment, a person who's willing to go and be mevazet to b'chachim is either shoyt or chutzpah. I'm assuming, he's a tzaddik. I'm assuming he's not a chutzpaniak unless I have to say otherwise. Now, just to mention over here that according to the Tosfos, we brought a raya from this story regarding the age. It was the age of 18, the age of 20. That was the story that we brought from Rava. That the one to bring a raya in terms of the age, we have the story of Rava in terms of age. That's part of the Girusa problem over here. Where does this story of Rava come as a raya? Does it come as a raya to what we said before? In other words, it's really the one hemshech. Do we say it's the raya to the fact that when you're less than 18 you can come and sell? Or no, Adarabah, that when you're 18 years old, that's the right age to sell. Where does it belong? Does it belong to the Gemara and Mudav? Does it belong to the Gemara and Base? The way we learn is the way the Rashbam learns, the way our Gemara is printed, is that belongs to your Talmud base to bring a raya over here. So I think just a few more lines. What would it bring to Yeshua le'edus, edus or edus? For edus, you do test. He could testify. Who? The one who is not able to sell is able to testify. On the karkei loy. Well, it says like this: if he can't sell karkois, he can't testify karkois. He can sell metaltis. He says, "Edus metaltis." Why metaltis he can do? The zvin is zvini. Because he can sell, so it depends on selling.
How long is he down?
15.
With das, no das?
Was that not enough das?
Not enough das.
But he's a gadol. Can he testify? He can testify. But Africa, of course. So he says, so you want to tell me that a child age of 6 or 7 can testify? You say whoever can sell can testify. So a child will be able to testify. Here we need adults. There it's a different thing. The Torah said they have to be adults. So in theory, you're right. Someone who can sell metalti goes to testify metalti. I have a problem in the Torah. It says this is a side point just to mention. This was my son's pshatel and his bar mitzvah. That what's the mocker that you have to have adults to testify? What's the mocker? So the chur of Gemara is mashma. That's the mocker. Here's the source. To be understand, you see, it has to be anoshim. The Ritva in Masechet Shvuos says you don't have to have a pasuk for that because anything in the Torah only adults can do and not children. Any mitzvah, there's no mitzvahs in katan. So why should edus be on a katan? So that's the big question. How does this Gemara fit with the Ritva in Shvuos? Let's say. He can give a gift. He can't sell if he doesn't have enough das. He can give a gift. How can that be? When you sell, he gets money. You say you can't sell because maybe he's going to sell for cheap. So a gift, he's not getting anything in return. So of course he can't do it. He told him, going to you, according to you, the whole problem is maybe he's going to sell for too cheap. So if he sells it and makes a huge profit, it's worth 5 and he sells for 6. So he says, 1 second, what about Oino? You're not allowed to sell for 6. There's been a few answers. One of the answers is they agreed. He knew about Oino and they agreed. So he's selling, makes a big profit. You want to tell me it works? No, because Rabbanan said a limitation, don't do it. Rabbanan know that a child is very easily is able to be manipulated with money. The problem's like this. Yes, not that you always going to sell for cheap, but it's very easy to attract them with money. Take the money, make like noise, and what's going to happen? He's going to sell everything he got from his father. He's not going to leave anything for a good price. He'll sell for a good profit. But it's very easy for him to be manipulated by money, to be deceived by the money. by being attracted by money. Money, karka, he sees a piece of land. Money, he thinks, I can do with it whatever I want. So that's why you're not allowed to sell. The matono, why a person gives a matono? You love that way, I know, you love the matono. Why one gives a gift? Because he got a benefit from it. And therefore, Amir Abona, Tiav Matana, didn't allow him to do a matono. Why? So people will try do for him favors. In other words, the Gemara says it's not just a stam. Oh, whenever a kid sells, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's going to sell it for too much. No, not necessarily. That's chat. He could be selling it for too cheap. He could sell it for expensive. But the problem is that if he gets money, he's going to get excited about the money and sell everything. I told him I don't have that chashash. We assume he's going to do the right thing. So therefore, he's maton, even though he's less than the age of 20. So go stop over here.